That's one you. Thanks, Rebecca. How you guys doing this morning? Woo, that's that Dunkin' Donuts. We know what time it is. Anybody know what time it is? Who wants to make some money? Who wants to learn how to make some money? Well, I'm here to share with you guys a few things that I think will help anybody, no matter where you're at. I don't know it all, but what I do know I want to share with you guys because I have a deep desire to help people be successful. I don't know if you guys know that, but that's my plan. Come on in, guys. I want to help somebody get more money and be more successful. Is anybody okay with that? So today I want to talk to you about making money moves like a multimillionaire, right? Look at your neighbor and say, let's make some money moves. Come on, say it like money's about to show up. Make some money moves. Tap them. Slap them. We're about to make some money moves. We're about to make, high five them and say, we're about to make some money moves. All right, well, I appreciate you guys coming today. We got a couple things I want to share with you so that you guys can take this and run with it, right? I got somebody that inboxed me last night and says, hey, why would you tell everybody how to make more money? Aren't you afraid they're going to leave and do their own thing? Oh, well. It's not my job to tell you what to do with it. It's my job just to share what I know, right? So my point is, guys, so many people are afraid to share the goods. They don't want to share the secrets, right? And the honest truth is, they're really not secrets. They're just so hard to understand sometimes because we get so caught up in things that we don't realize are blocking our view that they seem like secrets. Somebody say, they seem like secrets. They're not really secrets. They're just not in the open, right? So I want to share with you guys a few things, okay? How many people know this stat? 76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, right? 76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. What does that mean, guys? They're just living from paycheck, just barely having enough, right? How many people know that even a millionaire is still middle class? Right? You're like, oh man, I thought a millionaire was better than that. But it's not. Maybe about 60 years ago it was better than middle class, but nowadays it's not, right? But here's what I want to tell you guys, all right? And I run these meetings basically how I feel we should run them. If you don't like the things I'm going to say, that's all right. You can cast a vote later. But I think we got to get in the right mindset first before we can even talk about what we got to do with money, right? And we got to understand that money is this one thing, right? Money is a tool, right? I don't know, you guys up front are going to get scared here in a minute. What is this? What does a hammer represent? It's a tool, right? Now, I can use this hammer to do good, or I can use this hammer to do bad, right? We know some people who have murdered some people with a hammer, right? Right? Why y'all laughing? Are y'all about to be murderers? I'm getting scared. I'm coming over here. With a hammer, people have hurt people, right? Okay? With a hammer, people have helped people too, right? People have built stuff, and with a hammer, you can tear down stuff, right? A hammer is what? It's a tool. And so it can do good and it can do bad, right? And so money is the same thing. It is a tool, okay? A lot of people, growing up have been in certain mindsets and certain ideas that money is, if you get a lot of it, it's no good. Rich people are no good, right? And well, there's some people that are no good that are rich. And there's some people that are rich are good, right? But the mentality is that they don't understand that money is a tool, right? And you can do good with it, and you can do bad. Anybody know some people who have some money that they're not that good? And you keep asking, Lord, why you keep blessing them? I mean, don't you know my address? It's 555 right here street. And then you got some people who've made some money and they do good with it, right? Anybody know anybody who's made some money and they do good with it? Right. So my point is that you got to understand. Number one, okay? And this is not really any numbers. I'm just going. Your first money move is having the right mindset about money, and money is a tool. It is a tool. Okay? Let me tell you something. It's going to be a little bit of a risque statement, but money doesn't really change things. And most of you are going to be like, excuse me? Money don't really change things. All it does is accelerate things or decelerate things. Money don't really change things. So if I have $1,000 in my pocket and I'm sick, and I don't have $1,000 in my pocket and I'm sick, I'm still sick, right? Did it change my health? Now, it can help my health get better if I pay somebody to help me, or I buy some medicine, or if I do some treatments, or whatever the case may be, right? It can help. But money itself, the actual physical substance of money, doesn't do anything. Okay? So it's a tool, guys. Everybody say it's a tool. It's a tool. And you can do good with it, and you can do bad, right? And so I got to tell you this, guys. You got to get in the right mindset. Most people think, some people have been raised in homes where you were kind of had the impression that having a lot of money wasn't a good idea. Anybody kind of been in that idea before or raised in that situation? How many people were raised in a situation where you were told the opposite, that if you didn't have enough money, that they're just cursed? Something's wrong with them, right? So my point is, guys, you got to get in the right mindset. Number one, or the first money move is you got to get in the right mindset, right? I want to give you this scripture, and it says, "My God shall supply all my needs according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus," right? Amen. First of all, you need to know a money move, one of the first main money moves you need to make is you need to understand where it comes from. Okay? Now, does it mean that we line up somewhere and somewhere out of the sky God is dumping money? No. Because if that was the case, we'd all be there right there. Hey, over here. Or we wouldn't tell nobody, like, bring the dump trucks. Right? We got to know where it comes from, right? So a hammer is a tool just like money. Money is a tool, right? The first money move you got to do is you got to get your mind right. The next money move you got to make is you got to understand what's the right motive. What's your motive? Okay? Sometimes, somebody touch your neighbor and say, money moves. And the thing, here's what I want to do. Here's what I want to do. I want to help you guys today understand how to get money to move towards you. Okay? And how you can get money, you can move yourself towards money. Everybody say money moves. Money moves all the time. It exchanges, it passes, it goes through, it goes up, it goes down. Money moves all the time. Somebody say money moves. And so it's our job, if you want more, if you want to make more money, if you want to increase your opportunity, your income, if you want to have better things in your life, right? Whether it's a home, a car, or whatever. If you want to save up for certain things, you want to, your dream vacation or for your child's college or whatever it is. If you want to start a business, if you want to get an idea going, if you need some money, you got to get in a place where you can actually find where the money's at, and you have to move yourself towards that, right? Too many people are waiting for money to show up. Yeah. And do we have anybody who can testify that money doesn't sometimes show up? Like, my address is online, it's public, ain't nobody finding me. You got to get in a position, you got to move towards money, right? And what I'm saying is you have to align yourself where the money flows. Somebody say money flows. Money flows. Where the money flows is where I got to go, right? So that's where you got to go, right? And listen, first of all, you got to get your motive right. What do you want? If you had a lot of money, what would you do with it? Right? It's all right, you can travel. What would you do with it? What would you do with it? So first of all, sometimes we don't move in the right direction where money's at because our motives are wrong. Right? And then sometimes we are missing where money's moving towards because our motives are wrong, right? I've had a lot of money before I had a lot of money here, and my motives were off. So I can tell you firsthand, when your motives is not in line with what you're supposed to do, it will decrease, it will go away, it will evaporate quickly. Because when your motives are not right, money will go away. Eventually, it will dry up. eventually money won't move towards you anymore. It'll start finding ways to go away from you. Does anybody understand what I'm saying? You got to get your money, the first money move you got to make is your mindset, right? The second money move you got to make is your motive. You got to be in the right motive, right? Some of you guys would go out there right now with some money and party for weeks and weeks. Now, don't get me wrong, as you guys know that work here with us, we like to party. There ain't nothing wrong with partying. But when you make it a lifestyle where you're doing it every other day, can I tell you all the truth? Sometimes you're missing where money's moving is because your purpose behind what you want to do with it is not right. Some of you guys would raise your hand and say some beautiful, nice things, but inside you probably wouldn't do most of that stuff. You got to get your motives right. Don't wait until you get money to do something good. Do something good now, and it starts in your head and your heart, right? First of all, you need to know where it comes from, right? It comes from God. God puts it in place. He is the master of all things, right? He can make things come to you or go away from you. And at the end of the day, he is the one who blesses. He's blessed this business, right? He's blessed us, those that work here with us. And at the end of the day, you got to know where it comes from, right? You got to know where it comes from. And so you got to have your... Now, why would God give you guys money? Why would he give anybody money? Because he's trying to do what? He's trying to bless you so you can bless somebody else. That's the bottom line. Okay? He's trying to bless you so you can bless somebody else. In the moment you don't realize that, okay? I heard this saying before. God don't have no problem getting money to you. He's got a problem getting money through you. In other words, he can get it to you, no problem, that's no big deal. But he don't trust you because at the end of the day, you ain't trying to help nobody else. And the bottom line is, well, you're like, well, what about these people who don't help nobody, got all the money? I don't know. But I do know, listen, when you open yourself up to help other people, he will open it up for you to get what you need along the way, right? Okay? So my point is, the first money move is your mindset. The second money move is your motive, okay? Now, how many people have heard me say this? Big earners are big earners. All right. So another money move you got to make is you got to learn. Today you guys showed up hopefully to learn something, but you got to take this beyond this conversation today and learn on your own. There's a lot of information out there, okay, that you can find online. You can find books. You can read. All right. One of the best books I ever read was a long time ago. It was called, what was the title again? I forget. God Made a Millionaire, right? And so I read this book, and it was, and I'll get you guys the title and put it on WhatsApp for you guys, but God Made a Millionaire, and it was talking about how a guy took very small things and made a little bit of money, and he worked himself up and his way up into helping other people along the way, right? So that was one of the big books that influenced me, right? There's a lot of books out there that you guys can read that'll help you, right? But here's the thing. Most people take money and mask their vulnerabilities with it, don't they? Some people know how to go buy some nice stuff and wear nice stuff, but deep down inside they're tore up, they're hurt, they're in a mess, right? How many people know anybody like that? They know how to put on the right thing. Some of them even know how to wear all the right nice brands, but inside they're tore up, right? We got people that do that all the time, right? We know people that do it all the time. So they mask their vulnerabilities with that, right? The honest truth is, just like relationships, we end up using money in the same way wherever our emotional or self-esteem stands. How many people, spend money sometimes when you want to feel good? Tell the truth. I'm telling y'all now. Oh, now y'all want to tell the truth. All right. Anybody over here want to tell the truth? Who spends money when you want to feel good? Come on now, it's all right. You're in a safe place. Ain't nobody gonna put a red dot on you and kill you. How many people have used money to mask your insecurities or mask your vulnerabilities? Anybody in here used money before to do that? Okay? So listen, it's not bad to have money, but it is bad when money has you. It's not bad to have money, but it is bad when money has you. In other words, you spend money to try to fix your problems, right? You're like, well, my problems is about money. Well, is it? Is it really about money? Or is it that you're lazy? Is your problems about, well, I got bills. Okay. Well, is your problem about money, or is your problem about aligning yourself where money is moving so you can have a better income? Right? Well, I want to meet somebody. I want to have friends. Well, is your problem that you need more money to dress nice and go nice places? Or is your problem that you don't understand the value of who you are? Come on now, am I talking to you? So we got to understand, look, don't let money have you. Don't let it control you, right? And there's nothing wrong with having money or even a lot of money, but don't let it have you, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. The world works with money, right? You ain't going to go to the electric company and pay with some love. Some of y'all would have never an electric bill, and some of y'all would owe a lot of money.
That's why you need solar.
Right, that's why you need solar. Mama G in the house. So you guys need to know that, look, it's reality. Reality is that you can't go to McDonald's, you can't go to Walmart, you can't go to the gas station, you can't go nowhere. They're going to take money. And it don't matter how nice you are, how pretty you are, whatever, how smart you are, the only thing they're going to take is money, right? You better swipe it, you better pull out the cash and pay for it, right? So you got to have it, right? So there's no way around it. But the thing about it is that so many people let money take them and control them. And everything they do is about, either making a dollar or, wasting a dollar. How many people have wasted some money in your life? Come on. Listen, you can't be wasteful with your money. You can't be wasteful with your money. Don't get me wrong. You should have some money set aside to have a good time, to entertain, to have, relationships and things like that. You got to have some money. But most of you need to take most of your money that you have extra or you want to put aside, and you need to put it aside and stack it up for you to use it for investments and for you to use it to better your situation, right? So I'm going to tell you right now, and this is the hard pill to swallow, right? If you want to really earn money, like, this is the truth, right? This is none of the fluff. You're going to have to sacrifice. Okay? You're going to have to do a little less of something in order to gain a lot more of the ultimate thing you want to gain in your life, right? So a true money mover, right? Someone who wants to move towards money has to sacrifice. I don't really have numbers. It's a sacrifice, right? That's a money move. You got to get in that discipline right now, okay? If you don't get in that discipline, you will always find money moving away from you. You'll be chasing the rest of your life. But you literally can walk in a place, if you will discipline yourself, where money will come towards you. And you can go towards it, okay? So my point is, guys, when you're wasteful, okay? When you are not disciplined, when you're not putting money aside, all right? I'm going to tell you right now, here's a good tip for you. Okay? You should take at least 20% of your income, no matter what it is, and put it to the side. And I didn't say save it. I said stack it up. Somebody say stack it up. Now, put it in a savings account if you want. Now, here's another tip I'll give you, right? And most bank accounts do this, but I know Chase does this. Chase will let you set up automatic transfer in your savings account, right? Anybody got a bank that can do that? I recommend doing that. Okay, because if you have a bad habit of spending money, if you see it, you spend it. Anybody like that in here? If you see it, you'll spend it, right? So what you got to do, what you got to do is you got to out-trick yourself. And one of the things I do is I automatically send savings every Friday to my savings account. And here's the other key. Don't get a debit card that goes to it. And let me tell you the truth. You know why this business has prospered? Because I decided from the beginning that I was going to take most of my income, more than 50% of what I earned, and I put it back in the business. At the same time, I took my own personal money and started saving it and stacking it up. And I'll be honest with you. If I see it, I spend it too. Okay? So I transfer money automatically, and I don't even see it happen. Every Friday it goes into a saving account, and I have no debit card to it, so it's really hard for me to go. And I don't like going to the bank. I hate those people over there. Excuse me, I shouldn't say hate them. I don't hate them. I just don't enjoy that, right? If you got credit cards that every time you open your wallet you want to spend it, you're like, the card is like, please use me. Anybody got cards like that? If you really need the card, put it in a block of ice in the freezer. Seriously. And then when you need to use it for real, you'll think about it. Because it'll take a while to get it. Like, give me that hammer, Frank. So listen, you're going to have some discipline. Now listen, I'm going to tell you right now. Let me tell you the other truth that most people won't tell you. You cannot save your way to wealth. You can't. But you do need to stack up money that you can use to leverage to get you in a position of wealth. Big difference. People won't tell you that. Oh, well, if you stop drinking in Starbucks, you will save yourself after 27,000 years, and you will have $1 million. I will be dead by then. What good is the money? How many people have heard that nonsense? If you would save just a Starbucks drink every day. Man, come on, I'm going to have my Starbucks and have my money. Come on, anybody. I don't even drink Starbucks. I just like saying that. All right? Listen, you cannot save your way to wealth. You're like, well, why do you want to save money? Because one, you need money for extra expenses or things that pop up. The other thing you need to do is you need to stack up your money because there's going to be opportunities that come your way, and you're going to need some money to be able to give yourself that opportunity. And you're going to have that money. You got to save some money, right? You got to be disciplined. Take 20%, and if you can do more, and put it aside. Put it aside and make it where you can't access it very easily. Opportunities are going to come your way, right? So listen, I know a guy on Facebook right now. I'm following him, okay? And he did the same thing I'm telling you. He saved up $2,500, okay? And some of you are like, well, that's a lot of money. Well, really, I don't know how long it took him. He didn't tell us how long it took him. But he saved up $2,500, okay? And he loves watches. And what he did is he took $2,500 and he found someone that was selling a Rolex, right? And the guy wanted way more than $2,500 for it. And so he started asking him, would he take $2,500 for the watch? And of course he said no. But after a few weeks and a lot of persistence, okay, the guy finally caved in and said, oh yeah, okay, I'll take you $2,500. So the guy didn't even know if the watch was real or not, but he knew if it was a good deal. Then the other part was that he didn't live in the same state, so he had to, send him the money first and then hope that the guy would send the watch. So he did, okay? Another thing I want to tell you right now, another money move is you're going to have to take risks. But don't take any crazy risks. Take calculated risks, strategic risks, okay? I'm sure he just didn't, out of the blues, to decide to send that money. Okay? He had to think about it and did his best research, right? If I remember the story right, he had a lot of conversations with the guy before he sent the money. And even still, he still had to take a risk because it wasn't 100%. So he sends the guy the $2,500, and the guy, sure enough, sends the watch back. And he takes the watch, and he takes it to the drawer, and sure enough, it's a real Rolex. He cleans it up, and he polishes up, and he presents it in a nice lighting setting, and he sells it for $6,200 in like 2 weeks. So how much money did he gain? Anybody want to do a quick math? He just increased his money to what? $6,200, right? Okay, and he added what? What was it? $3,700, right? So listen, now it took him probably, if I remember correctly, several months to put aside $2,500. But he took that $2,500 and he went and invested in something. And guess what? It wasn't a sure thing. That's the thing about having a business. That's the thing about using money. Sometimes you're going to have to risk it, and it's not going to be a sure thing. But because you're willing to risk it, calculate a risk, strategic risk, sometimes you can have a big gain. Okay? And so that's why you got to have good people around you to help you and you got to know your stuff, right? So he invests in this watch, he cleans it up, he repackages it, and he sells it for $6,200. Now the guy, almost 2 years later, has sold almost 600 watches that same way and is about to surpass his $1 million. Nice. And guess what he does full time? He's on Facebook. He's got one of the biggest Facebook watch groups on Facebook, making money. All because he saved up $2,500. Right? Here's the thing. People's needs, this is another mentality, right? Another money move. People's needs is always an opportunity. And that's why you got to understand this next money move. This next money move, money is always about the value exchange. Here's the problem. Most people don't even know their own value. Right? Money is all. If I go to a restaurant, okay, I hear there's a restaurant about to open, and from what I know, it's going to be good. I think I know a couple people that are putting it together. But anyways, if I go to a restaurant and I pay for a plate of food, right, I expect in exchange a dinner, right? Not only do I expect a dinner, I expect a good experience, good service, right? I don't want to be standing up eating a steak, okay? I want to sit down. And I don't want to have rock music blaring in my ear, eating a steak. I want something nice and subtle, right? And the good atmosphere, right? You know, I don't want to look back behind the kitchen and roaches be flying around, right? So even if you show up and they can give you some food, don't mean it's a good value exchange, right? How many people have been to those places before? Y'all like just down the road? But my point is that money's always about a value exchange. The problem is most people don't know their own value. You guys, sometimes you struggle with your own value. You don't know what you're worth. And that's what we talk about in the 10 sins of success, is that sometimes you have so much self-doubt, you can't even roll out of your own mental bed in the morning and get up and understand how much worth you have to offer. And therefore, you never get in that money move and that mentality of understanding how to offer enough value so people can pay you to do it. All right? So money is about a value exchange. Are you with me? Anybody in here? All right. All right. So here's another money move, guys. You got to put your money where your mouth is. How many people know somebody who talks negative all the time? Some of y'all need to be pointing at yourself. How many people know some people that talk negative all the time? Listen, when you talk negative, you are not getting money to move in your direction. You are not getting money to move in your direction. I'm going to tell you right now, you know another form of talking nowadays in 2019 is what you post online. That's all talk. And if I read some of your Facebooks and Instagrams and all this stuff you guys got nowadays, and then you wonder why you ain't got no money, all you need to do is start reading some of the stuff you say. Come on, man. Y'all ain't trying to get rich. Y'all trying to just stay poor. Because you ain't putting your money where your mouth is, right? You got to start saying things that bring money to you, attract money to you. You got to start saying things and confessing things that actually help you align yourself with what you want. And too many times we got people complaining and crying or talking bad about others, or I'm going to get them. Go ahead. I mean, it's, grown men and women talking like that. Ho better not play with me. All the time. What you talking about? Ho better not play with me. You 37 years old. Hey, listen. Somebody say, put your money where your mouth is. You got to. Listen, some of you guys are proclaiming things in your own life that actually are, maybe they're factual, don't get me wrong, but they're never going to change if you keep proclaiming that stuff. I'm just broke. Well, okay. How many people have heard someone say, I'm broke, and then all of a sudden money show up? I've never seen that in the history of my life, right? How many people who have money, you hear them say, well, I'm broke? Okay? How many people who are on their way up, you hear them say they're broke? What are they talking? What are they saying? They're saying, hey, I'm on my way up. This thing is turning around. Money's coming to me, right? I'm going to find a way. I'm positioning myself. I'm helping money move to me. I'm moving myself to money because I'm talking right. Put your money where your mouth is. Man, this is too hard. Well, yeah, it's hard. But it don't mean you need to go broadcast that to everybody. And more importantly, stop broadcasting it to yourself. You know your mind is hearing what you're saying. Yes. What do y'all talk like this? Hello? I can't hear myself say anything. Some of y'all need to do that. Some of y'all need to do it when other people talk. But my point is, listen, every time you say something and post something and text something, every time you even say it mentally in your own mind, you're brainwashing yourself. And then you wonder why you ain't aligned with money. Because at the end of the day, you got to be able to say the right things and position yourself so money moves to you, right? If you sit in front of somebody and you ask them for money, you could kill the deal by saying what? The wrong thing. All right, let me show y'all something. Y'all probably wonder why I got this watermelon up here. Okay. All right. And I got a knife too, right? All right, so I got this mini watermelon, and we're about to find out. We weren't sure if this has seeds in it or not, but this is important, okay? Who wants to help me cut this? Anybody? I don't know how it tastes. Come on. Come on, Vanna White. All right. Y'all about to see how she uses a knife. So how many people know this is watermelon, right? Can you guys visually see the seeds in there? Yes. If we go through this whole watermelon, right? Here's another money move. This is a mentality thing as well, right? Okay? You guys need to understand this is how money works, right? A lot of people don't understand how this works, and therefore you don't understand why money ain't coming to you, right? You can count visually how many seeds this watermelon has, right? Right? It's not a trick question, I promise, okay? Can you guys see there's a couple seeds here? So if you go through this whole watermelon, you can see there's more seeds in here, right? Can everybody see that? Yeah. All right. So if we started going through this watermelon, we can count how many seeds are in it, right? And what does a seed do? If you put it in the ground, it'll grow, right? Yes. But how many watermelons are in each seed? Think about it. How many watermelons are in each seed? I can take one watermelon and one seed, and I can have what? More watermelons. Here's the problem. Most people take money and they eat seed. They eat their seed. Instead of taking the seeds and putting it back in the ground. So it does what? Think about it, right? You can count how many seeds are in this watermelon. You can literally count 1 to however many seeds are in it. But can you count how many watermelons are in each seed? You can't, because why? It's a lot. And that's the thing. You got addition, which most people think, okay? And then you got multiplication. And you have to think of money in the multiplication. You got to put it in places and invest it in things like the guy with the Rolex watch. What did he do? He took a little bit of his seed and put it over to the side. Then he buried it in the ground. He nurtured it. He watered it. And what happened? Now he's almost to 600 watches. Because he took care of one seed, right? He took care of one piece of money, right? You guys see what I'm saying? Yeah. Most people think addition if you think good at all, right? They think, well, I got to get more seeds. Okay? Or I got to get more watermelons. But what you need to think is, how can you take the seeds that you have and get them in the ground fast and bury them and nurture them and watch over them and make sure that no one messes with them and let it grow and multiply. Okay? And that is called leveraging money. Anybody heard that before? Yeah. How do you leverage money? Well, the guy with the Rolex watches, he leveraged money, right? He took a little bit of money and he invested it into another watch, and then he took the money. It took a process, guys. Every time he earned money, he put it back into the what? Back into the ground. And what happened? He was able to buy more and more watches. Now I think the guy has a team of people who go search all through the world for watches to buy them on the cheap and flip them for more money. How can he get a team if he didn't ever figure it out himself? Too many people spend so much time eating their seed because, oh, well, I got bills to pay. I got to feed myself. I got to clothe myself. You know, how am I going to put seed in the ground if I ain't got to? Listen, you can sacrifice a little bit, and you can put some in the ground, and you can wait and see that those seeds grow and multiply, right? How many people can do that? That's like the savings account I told you about. All right? You take the savings account, stack your money up, and then you're not going to save your way to wealth, But you could take that money that you put in away and find a good place to bury it or put it in something that will multiply, right? In other words, it will gain more than what you put in. All right? I used to do the same thing with cars. I used to flip cars. And I didn't flip nice, fancy cars. I flipped junk cars. Okay? I would go buy an old junk, raggedy car for a couple $100, and then the scrap yard would pay me $500 or $600. I cut a deal with them. I said, hey, if I bring you so many cars, will you pay me even more than the average guy? And they said, yeah. So as long as I did my part and went and hustled, right, and got the cars, we would drag them in there, and they'd pay me even more. So I had an advantage, right? So money also brings you advantages, right? Can somebody say it brings advantages? Brings advantages. So the only way I was going to get that extra money is if I brought him enough business, and therefore it opened up things for me. Money was moving towards me at that moment in life, right? The problem I had was I was greedy with it. The problem I had was I didn't invest it into people, right? The problem I had was I didn't realize that that's how you get money to stay coming to you, by investing in people, right? I was trying to just get it all myself. So I've had good money before, right? I made a lot of money back then. But the problem was that I quenched it. It dried up because I didn't invest it in people. So the other thing you need to do is when you get some money and you put it aside and you find a place that you can invest it, is you also need to find some people that you can help do the same thing. What did I say in the beginning? God is not going to bless you unless you're willing to use the blessings to bless others. Right? He ain't got no problem getting money to you. He's got a problem getting money through you. And that's the thing. That's the same thing with me, right? He says, hey, Frank, I'm going to give you some money. But then as soon as I get the money, I do nothing with it but serve myself. Right? And that's why those doors closed on me in that moment in my life, right? Is this helping anybody? Yes. Okay, listen. You guys got to you got to have some discipline, right? You got to put what? Your money where? You got to understand the value exchange, right? Listen, there's a ton of things you can do out there to make extra money, side money, right? There's a ton of things you can create, right? Some of us, and this is one of the sins of success, we're not resourceful. We wait until we get resources before we start wanting to do something with our life. But instead, we need to be resourceful and be creative, okay? And you can take a little bit of money, right? And you can put it in the right place, and you can see it grow, and not just grow by 1 or 2, it multiplies. But you got to find a good place to do that, right? One of the good places to do that is in people, right? If you can find someone to help you do people, that's called, if you can find a way to help people grow their own income, what are they going to do? Help you too, okay? So that's one of the things you got to do. So also in your mind, what's the right mindset? Somebody tell me.
Positive mentality.
What was that?
Positive mentality.
Positive mentality, right? Now, is a positive mentality going to gain me more money just by having, I'm going to think positive?
No.
What's the mentality you got to have? It's a tool, right? Now, how good is this hammer if it just sits here on the table? It's useless, right? It's still a hammer. It's still a tool, but I got to go pick it up. Now, if I start swinging it at the wrong things, how good is it then? It's actually worse now, right? The purpose of this tool is no good. So what I got to do, I can't just say I got a tool, right? I got to actually go pick it up. I got to take action. Then I got to use it in a way in which it's designed. Not only do I use it in the way it's designed, but also you can use this tool to actually build something. Yeah. And when you build something, or what we would say, create something, that's when you have something of value, and then there's a way someone might want to pay you for that. Okay? So how many people know, every one of you, and here's what I want to tell you. Every one of you have something, if not a lot of things inside of you, that you can create that has value. I want you guys to know that, right? The reason why most people don't understand the simple rule of value exchange is because you guys don't know your own value. Okay? There's something inside all of you that you can do to help add value to someone's life, someone's situation, and you can get paid for it. How many people like getting paid? Okay? Well, here's another thing, guys, I want to tell you right now. Some of you guys, got to understand that one of the best skills of making money move towards you is being available. You got to be available. And availability is good, but then you got to be valuable. Some of you guys just show up to work and you're like, I'm available, but you ain't valuable because you're just doing just enough. So not only do you have to be available, right? I think one of the best skills you can have is to be available, right? How many people have ever called somebody and they didn't even answer the phone? I'll call 4 realtors right now, and out of the 4 realtors, 3 of them won't answer the phone. How valuable are those realtors? Now, don't get me wrong. Well, I'm busy. I got kids and stuff. Well, so do I, and that's why I need you to answer the phone, right? Somebody answers the phone. Now they become valuable to me, right? You can be valuable by just answering your phone. And I'll tell you right now, you know why people don't do that? You know why people don't want to get value? It's because, one, they're either greedy or selfish or they're afraid. Right? Someone's hurt you, someone's did you wrong, and therefore you're like, nope, I'm limiting what I'm doing here. Or you even want to say, hey, no one sees my value. And all you do is run around, talk about no one sees my value. So, they haven't even responded to me. They haven't even checked their email. They don't see what I do around here, right? What are you doing? Are you getting money to come to you? Or what are you doing? What are you doing with your mouth? You're pushing it away. You got to get money to come to you, right? And the way you do that is you become value. And listen, if someone fails to see your value, it's not your problem. It's their problem. And sometimes people fail to do that. Because what? Because we're human, right? Sometimes I fail to see people's value. Because the last time I checked, I'm human too. Right? But at the end of the day, you got to do your part, show up to your own success. Somebody say, show up to your own success. You got to show up to your own success. That's a money move, right? Don't just be available, be valuable. Okay? Be valuable. Somebody say, be valuable. Be valuable. And then when you realize your value, okay, and what you can create in that value, that's when you can start putting a value on what you have to offer and a demand on what you have to offer. And therefore, you can see yourself in a position to have more money come your way, right? It's not just about more money at your work or your job. It's about offering value, period, right? People don't want to pay for something that they don't get what they want, right? You see that piece of artwork in the museum and you don't see no value in it, then you're not a customer for them. But if you walk in and you're like, man, this is the most incredible thing ever, and this price that's cheap. You whip out your credit card and pay for it, then you see value in it, right? I don't know how, but I'm not one of those guys, okay? So that's how you do it. Another thing you got to do, another money move, is you have to align yourself with people that are already earning the type of money that you want, or can help you earn the type of money you want. They say that the average income that you have is the average income of the people you hang out with the most. You got to be around people that are actually making more money. If you want to make more money, then you're going to have to be around people to make more money. Bottom line. So what does that mean? You need to develop your people skills. Okay? Grant Cardone says sales is a contact sport. You got to get contacts. You got to make contact. You got to talk to people. And some people don't want to really increase their people skills because they don't value people, which is a sin of success. Right? You got to get good at talking to people and caring about people, right? And don't do it just because you're trying to get something, because you'll be found out real quick. Do it because you sincerely care about someone and you want to do something, right? I had a guy call me yesterday from out of the country, and he says, I know you only got 30 seconds, but I want to do something for you and give you some value. I want to help you out. And guess what? He got my attention. Come on, man, help me out. And of course, I knew he wanted something in the end, right? But he got my attention. Y'all hear me, call center? He got my attention, right? And trust me, I don't hardly even answer the phone. And he got my attention. Didn't he, Amber, right? He got my attention. So, and he starts telling me about how he wants to do this and do that with his company. in the country he's in, and that he's seen the growth that we've had, and he wants me to mentor him, right? But he said, I don't want you to do anything for me. All I want to do is offer you something, help you out, and and he said, maybe in exchange you'll help me out. Come on, man. That's the mentality you got to have. You got to have a servant's mentality, right? If you want someone to help you out and they have something that you need, then you got to come in with that mentality of, look, what can I do for you? And then in exchange, if they can see the value in you, and don't get me wrong, there's some people who can, then they will help you out to get where you need to go, right? You got to have that mentality, right? And I promise you, if you're willing to be around people that have the things you want and need to learn, and you're willing to come in at it with a servant's mentality, right? What can you offer? What's the value you have? And listen, sometimes it's simple stuff, right? Like opening the door, hold the door, right? Nobody holds the door anymore for nobody, right? It can be the simple things like taking out the trash. It could be, hey, just making sure somebody's okay, calling them and checking on them, right? How many people in here, I ain't going to ask a question, but how many people in here, it's been a while, you ain't got to raise your hand, since someone called you and said, hey, how you doing? Somebody in here, there's been a bunch of people in here, I know because I've been reading my messages, right? There's a lot of people in here who hadn't had people call them in a while and say, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? You doing all right? You know what that is? That's value. You're offering value. You're doing something most people won't want to do. Man, if you want to gain something in life, like a friend or have a partnership, then offer some value, guys. And don't do it just because you're trying to get a free lunch. Do it because you actually want to help somebody. And if you do that, I promise you, the money that you need in your life, the resources that you need in your life, and guess what? One of the ways to gain money is to have people in your life that help you, right? But my point is, guys, you got to value people, right? You got to align yourself with people that help you earn what it takes to get yourself in that position. That's called a money move. Somebody say, make a money move. Make a money move. Come on, you got to make money moves, guys. Look, you got to put some money aside. Okay, I'm going to do a little review and then we're going to end up here. You got to put some money aside. I suggest anywhere from 20% or more put aside of your income. Whatever you're earning, doesn't matter if you're making a little bit of money or a lot of money, take 20% or more and put it aside. Stack it up. Now listen, don't think you're going to save your way to millions. By the time you do, you'll be dead. And even then, you think, millions is middle class now, think what it is going to be when you're almost dying. It's going to be broke still. So it ain't going to do no good. So my point is you got to stack it away, because there's going to be an opportunity that you're going to be faced, or opportunities that you're going to face, and then you're going to have some money to do something with it. Somebody's going to come in your life, an idea is going to pop in your head, you're going to see this opportunity. How many people, who would tell the truth about you've seen some opportunities come your way and you didn't have the money? Look here. Learn from your own mistakes right now. Pay yourself and pay attention to what I'm saying. Put the money aside. Discipline yourself. Go out a little bit less. Buy a few less things than you usually buy. Right? Sacrifice a little bit, right? Ain't nobody sitting here telling you got to sacrifice forever. Nobody's saying that you can't go get the nice car or the nice house or the shoes or whatever you want to do. I'm just saying for a period of time until this opportunity comes and you have the right money, right? There's some small opportunities that can be big. There's some big opportunities that can go bigger. There's all kinds of opportunities out there in the world. But you have to, like we said several weeks ago, don't miss your moment, right? And one of the things you got to do to not miss your moment is you have to be prepared, even when the moment is not here. You got to be prepared. You got to look into the future and say, hey, I know an opportunity is going to be coming down my way, but I'm going to be ready for it. And if you are one of the people that are like me, that if you see it, you spend it, trick yourself, man. Give it to somebody else, as long as you trust them, of course. Can't give them not $1 to Mary, it's going to be gone. When I met this girl, she didn't even know how to buy a pair of shoes. Now if I give her $1, man, she got 800 shoes. She knows how to spend that money. My point is either give it to somebody you trust or put it away in a way where it's going to stack up for you, okay, without you having to have quick access to it, okay? And I promise you, when you do, you're going to find an opportunity. The other thing, too, is, again, I said align yourself with people. There's some people out there that will help you with the opportunities, and align you so you can get into the flow of money, right? Is this helping anybody? Yes. There's things you can invest in, right? There's policies out there, there's accounts out there, there's things you can put a little bit of money at a time in, and it will grow over time, and then therefore you can leverage it, right? One of the things I did from the very beginning is I put money away so that if something happens to me, my kids and Mary will have money. They're going to be loaded, by the way. They're going to be set. They said already, though, right? All right. Don't tell her, though, because she might use that knife on me or something. I'm trying to get paid. I'm just kidding. I'm still valuable. I'm more valuable alive than dead now. Come on now. It's getting close, too. It's getting close. And then the other thing, too, is some of the accounts that I've set up, right? And I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to give you the details, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I haven't put a lot of money in it. But the accounts in the next 15 years, I will be able to, not have to work again, okay? Because of the dividends that come from it, right? Be smart with your money, right? Put it aside. Give yourself a chance. Show up to your own success. And then the other thing, too, stop talking all that mess. If you listen and rewind the tape, and some of y'all just need to go through your own news feed and look back, how many people have seen one of those memories pop up and be like, I ain't supposed to, I don't know who that was. No, but seriously, stop talking all that mess. Talking some garbage, you 37 years old, you talking like you're 17. Or you're 17, talking like you're 40 years old, like you know something. Come on. And you know what? Hey, all y'all resharing, reposting people, y'all got to be careful of that too. That's basically saying what they're saying. Come on, man. Say some good stuff. What's going to hurt you if you say, hey, I'm going to be rich soon? Some of y'all won't even want to say it because you don't even feel like you ever will. You don't even believe it. Your money, you think money's going to show up because you don't believe it? How many people know somebody who hasn't believed it and their money just showed up? It don't even make no sense. Somebody say it right now. Who wants to make a lot of money in your life? Now, okay, let's say it. I'm going to make a lot of money in my life. Very soon. I'm going to make a lot of money in my life. Very soon. Any day. Anytime. I'm going to bless somebody. Even before I have the money. I'm going to make money moves. So money moves towards me. Is anybody excited about that? Listen, I know this is just information and some inspiration, but my point is that that's the difference. You got to get the right knowledge. And what did I say? What did I start off with? The first money move you got to make is in your mind. Right? If you grew up poor and your mom and dad were poor, it don't mean you have to stay poor. You ain't got to stay that way. Just because they didn't know don't mean you ain't got to know, right? It takes an intersection of your choices and your mind to get in the right alignment with the money, right? It is out there. Some of you guys have been through some things that you can now turn around and flip over on its other side and offer a value that will change people's lives. And if you're willing to do that and talk about it and share that and express that and show the things that you could do because you didn't do it right, then you can offer value. And if you can offer value, people will pay you to do that. Am I right, Mr. Hopper? People will take your shortcomings and your mistakes, and you can make money off of your mistakes. You guys know that because you guys don't want to talk about your mistakes because you're too shameful of it, right? And I get it. I get it. Sometimes you don't want to talk about things because it's hurtful and you're still dealing with it. But let me tell you something. Can I tell you something in love? Can I tell you out of love right now? Can I tell you because I care about you? Can I tell you the reason why I did this? Not because I wanted to boast or flex on any of you that I know anything more than you. The reason why I had this and I said, hey, anybody who wants to come can come. I ain't going to charge nobody to come here. The reason why I want to do this is because I care about your success, and to such a degree, I got to tell you this in the most loving way I can. Get over it. Get over it. And I'm not trying to be a jerk or, an a-hole, okay? But I am trying to push you, right? I'm trying to push you where you can have money move towards you, and you can move towards money. But you won't move off of the hurt that you've been through. And don't get me wrong, it's painful, it's hard. You won't move off the shame that you have. You won't move off of the mistakes you made. You won't move off of the relationship that you keep trying to keep in your life. You won't move off of it, but yet you still want money to come towards you, right? Let me tell you something. Get over it. Move on from it. It's holding you up. Your success is waiting for you to show up. And some of you guys need to align. All this matters. All is connected, right? If you get your life right, if you get your head right, if you get your people right, if you get the things you need to do right, I promise you it will start coming to you. It may come slow, it may come one at a time, it may take years. At the end of the day, it'll start coming to you, right? It'll come to you, and at the end of the day, you're going to be like, man, this is what I need to do. But you guys, some of you guys need to get over it. Y'all been hung up on some stuff that happened last year or 10 years ago. And maybe you are the reason why it happened. Maybe you did do it. Maybe you caused all the pain. Maybe you made all the mistakes. Maybe you were the fool. Maybe you were the joker. Maybe you were one of those people that made the mess and hurt people and burned bridges. I was that guy too. You got to get over it. And maybe people are still reminding you of it on a daily basis, giving you those looks and making those comments and those gestures. Maybe they are. Get over it. Do they pay your bills? Do they help you make more money? Make a decision that you're going to wrap it up and you're going to repackage it like the guy did with the Rolex. And you're going to sell it for more. It cost you a lot, didn't it? Some of you guys have been through some things that cost you a lot. Some of you have made mistakes that cost you a lot. Some of you guys had failures that cost a lot. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of heartache. It took a lot of money and resources. It took a lot of relationships. It took a lot, right? How many people have been through some things that cost a lot of money? It costs a lot of things, right? At the end of the day, package it back up because you've decided to get over it and move past it and heal from it. And you package it back up. And you say, hey, this is who I was, but it's not who I am now. This is how you can be better. This is how you can avoid it. This is how you can get over it. This is how you can move past it. Package it back up, and I promise you, put a nice bow on it and let people know. And you know how you let people know? You tell them the truth. The truth is, I was a failure, right? Not even 3 years ago, I was a joke. Not even 3 years ago, I didn't deserve to even have any type of life, much less the life I have today, right? But I decided I need to do something with my life. I need to change it around. I got to find my own value, right? I was undervaluing myself. And as soon as I realized I need to value myself and value people and value things the way they should be valued, that's when money started moving towards me. And then as soon as I saw something that helped me get towards money faster and better and quicker, then I said, let's go. But before I started going, what I did, the first thing I did is I made a giant poster, as you guys know, right there in the lobby. And that's where I put the why. Why should we do this unless somebody else is going to benefit as much as we are going to benefit, right? When I started businesses before and made money, that was not my why. That was not my purpose. And so my motive was off back then. But I decided before I was going to do anything with this business is I was going to get that right. And we're going to help a lot of people, right? Who in here wants to help a lot of people? Now, I know all of you are going to raise your hands, but I got to tell you the truth. This is another statement of love. How are you going to help anybody until you help yourself? How are you going to help anybody until you help yourself? Right? You guys need to start stacking your money to the side. Stop spending it on crazy things. Okay? Now listen, once you get some money going and flowing, then you can be more, lenient on some of those things. You can buy different stuff, right? And you can have fun with your money and stuff like that. But just sacrifice things right now and put it to the side. I promise you. And then don't just let it sit there. Look for an opportunity to invest in it, right? One of the things I want to tell you right now, if you're in sales with us, right? We tell you all the time, invest in your own success, right? John King has invested in his own success. He's bought signs. He's bought marketing material, right? And you can do that. When you invest in it and you see there's a return, the return's going to be greater, right? We know people that bought signs and then we ask them, well, how many calls have you got? I only got like one. Oh, that don't make any sense. Where'd you put them? Well, I put about 20 out and the rest of them are in my car. That hammer is no good if you never pick it up and use it. I'm going to push you. Anybody need a little push? Come on now. All right, so let's go ahead and crank that music up real quick. I want you to stand to your feet real quick. Somebody say, money moves. If I'm going to get money to move, I got to move. Somebody say, I got to move. I got to move. Money does not come to you until you decide to start moving towards it. And the way you do that is you get yourself together and find some people to help you, right? Everybody in here who wants to take their income to the next level. Anybody? I'm going to tell you right now, some of the things I shared with you today, I know they might be very simple, but if you do them, they'll be very powerful. I promise you that. Be valuable. Be available. Put your money to the side. Find things. Be like the watermelon seed, right? Don't eat the seed. Plant the seed and see it multiply, right? If you start thinking about money as a multiplication instead of an addition, that's where you see your money grow. You got to grow your money, right? You can also use other people's money to help grow your money. That's a whole different thing. Okay? So, hey guys, value people. Value the people you work with in here. Value people you don't even know. Give them value. And I promise you'll start seeing money move towards you. Is anybody with me in here?